Highfield Boats has a long history of event support. This weekend, we're supporting SailGP in Plymouth, UK. Come with me, and we'll show you what it's all about. Welcome to this episode of Highfield Boats TV. Firstly, we need to take this boat round to Plymouth. So today we're going to do a 55-mile delivery passage from Exmouth on the southwest coast of the UK round to Plymouth. We've got already a fleet of Highfield RIBs on the water through our colleagues' Plymouth Marine Centre. So we're going to do the offshore run first. This boat is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Sport 760, look at it. What an all-rounder. Massive sun deck, amazing space on board. I've got 2 paddle boards stored on the starboard side of the driving position. Look at the space, look at the layout. Ever reliable Honda 250. When we work on these events, you know, having a partner as reliable as Honda makes a big difference, because these key events, they need reliability. Before anything else, they need reliability. And Honda is the partner for that. Look at that rear bench. Look at that picnic table. Rear facing seat, fridge underneath. This boat is the perfect all-round family distance cruiser. 280 litre fuel tank, so it's got a range of 200 miles. We're going to do 50 of those this morning. Come with us. Before we leave the dock, here's my route today. Weather conditions are pretty good. You need to be a little bit careful when you head round start point, but today I think the wind is light enough not to worry about it. So we're going to leave our departure point here at Exmouth. As you can see, I've got my AIS targets around me. Head round the headland, start point, past Tor Bay, past Dartmouth, past Salcombe, round into Plymouth Sound. So as a family boat, I think it's kind of hard to beat this 760 Sport. You've got swim platforms, safe boarding ladder, enormous sun deck on the bow, you've got a fridge, you've got seating for 2 families. You could quite easily share ownership of this boat with your friends, maximise your investment. So you've got an amazing family platform for swimming, messing around, having a picnic, but you've got a 26-degree, super deep V, heavy-duty aluminium hull underneath you. Rescue certified, and that gives you enormous confidence if you get caught out, or if you want to stretch your legs, or if you want to go and explore a little bit further. You know that the boat has got your back. The boat will have you covered. It will handle much more than you can handle. And as a family boat, I don't think you can ask much more. So cruising speed. A lot of people still ask, what's the top speed? How fast does the boat go? How fast does it go? How fast does it go? But actually, cruising speed is by far and away the most important speed when you're considering a purchase, especially now with the fuel prices the way they are. So we're cruising at 24 knots. We're burning about 1.2, 1.3 litres a mile. That's pretty much the sweet spot, the most efficient speed to run this hull at. You could push it up to 35, 40 knots. But pro rata, you're going to be burning 2.4 litres a mile if you really push these big V6 engines. So your fuel burn could double. And you can imagine that will have a big impact on the cost of your trip. So cruising speed is now the most important calculation when you're buying a distance boat like this. And I know I'm going to upset a few people, but honestly, jockey seats on a distance boat, unless you're going to be in a position where you know you're going to be facing heavy weather all the time, I don't think you need to fit them anymore. These bucket seats and the comfortable seating that's available on any rib now, to me, makes a jockey seat uncomfortable and really not a nice place to be for a long distance. Look at me now, I'm just chilled out, sat back, bucket seat, I'm wrapped in, I've got a really nice seating position. This is a GT seating position for me, not a jockey seat. Apologies to everyone that's a jockey seat fan. So we're crossing Start Bay now and I've come inshore. On my starboard side, we're passing Slapton Sands and Tor Cross, and this entire area in World War II was occupied by the American forces, and they used this area as a training base for the D-Day landings. And one of the most infamous events happened in this area, Operation Tiger. Germans intercepted communications. They knew that training operations was underway, and essentially they were waiting for the landing craft. Estimates are thousands of American servicemen killed in that attack. It was classified for many, many years, but in the 1980s, they raised one of the lost American tanks, and that tank stands as a monument on the land there in Tor Cross, so that Operation Tiger and the personnel lost in that event is never forgotten. Again, on my starboard side, we're now passing the lost village of Hall Sands. The long story started a couple of hundred years ago, but the culmination of that was just over 100 years ago. The residents of the lost village spoke of a huge storm that blew up from the east, and they speak about waves that were crashing over their homes and coming in through their chimneys. And you can see there, the village is gone. One or two houses remain now, inaccessible to the public because they're too dangerous, but waves crashing over their homes. So that's it, we've just run 52, 53 nautical miles around from Exmouth to Plymouth. It's quite a long passage, but there's so much to see that time just flies by. And here we are now. Passing the breakwater, heading into Plymouth. Famous Plymouth Sound. We're going to go and see what this whole SailGP event is all about. So we're arriving in the technical area now. See Brittany Ferries behind me. The Pont Aven is loading, she's going to disappear soon. And in front of me we've got the Spain team. Now the Spain team is running Highfield chase boats. And we'll try and spin round without getting in her way. She's just about to drop her mooring buoy. There she is. A little bit of a zoom in there. So we've got two Highfields, one either side. You see how much windage, even on a mooring buoy like this, they need those ribs there to hold her in position. Team prepping to go out on a practice day. We've got our 860 chase boat on their starboard side, and we've got our 760 support boat on their port side. This one supplied by Plymouth Marine Services. So Team Spain, we'll call it Team Highfield. Practice day, practice day, practice day. They're a long way off. We're obviously on the boundaries of the course. Helicopters up. So we've positioned ourselves down here at the bottom mark. zoom in on those guys now. They're coming down to that mark. See, the wind conditions are just perfect. Look at that. There they go. New Zealand first place at the moment, followed by the Brits. It's a bit more overcast today, but this is the first day of full racing. So we're going to head down, boats prepared. We're at Yacht Haven Quay dry stack here. Really nice facility. Simple launch recovery system. We've got the 760 waiting for us on the pontoon. All set. Wind is good wind forecast, building all day, so it should be seriously exciting. Look at this as we're walking along here. Patrol 860 with our colleagues at Sound Diving here in Plymouth. Getting ready for a day out diving. Probably heading out to the Eddystone Reef, about 12-13 miles offshore. Look at that, hard top. Really good dive platform. About these events, when you're right in it, you're right in the middle of it. Never gets boring. Helicopter up, teams out, training. Get Team France out, Team Spain out, Team New Zealand out. Danes are out, the Brits are out, they're all out.
Best female sailors on the planet, one of the best sailors on the planet, and she's come in as strategist, and I think it's just going to offer that bit of calmness, that bit of experience. We just haven't seen the results from New Zealand yet. Can Joe be the difference that we're looking for?
minute to go now with New Zealand sitting on a 6th place in Bermuda and a 4th place in Chicago. This would be a nice time for them to turn things around here in Plymouth.
New Zealand, they found themselves some space. They'll be looking for clear wind, trying to find the shortest distance to Mark 1. Here we go, coming in on the helicopter above the fleet. There's the start line, middle of screen, Australia and USA towards the right hand, downwind end of the start line. But Australia will have the right to turn left at the top here if they want to. Are Canada safely around? Yes, they are in 3rd place. Australians, though, from the back of the pack up to 4th again. Harry Houdini, Tom Slingsby pulls it out of the bag.
500 meters ahead of the rest of the fleet on their way to a certain victory here in race number 3, which will give them a second, and a first. And then it is Denmark, Canada, and
So that's it, end of day 1 racing. There's our Highfield twin engine 760 coming alongside the French boat, putting them back on their mooring for the night. Load of Highfield support boats out here. Been a pleasure to be out here in Plymouth. The wind was perfect, conditions were perfect, brilliant racing. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed our little SailGP trip.